Today I'm watching Firefly episode 14. It's crazy that we're already in episode 14. I feel like I just started. It's definitely bittersweet. I've really enjoyed this series, and it's going to be sad to say goodbye to these characters and the storylines and which ones will be completed in this episode, which ones will be left hopefully to be resolved in the movie. I'm definitely glad there's a movie to answer any unanswered question that this episode doesn't answer. Comment below, was this meant to be the finale? I'm not too sure. I know they were shown out of order, but episode 13 was about the crew trying to save a pregnant lady at a brothel, and Inara said she was leaving at the end of the episode, so that I feel like is a pretty big twist. She's a crucial member to the crew. In my opinion, she plays a crucial role in the show, and I don't know what it's gonna look like if she does leave in this episode, if she'll already be gone. Maybe she won't even be in this episode. I have no idea. Maybe Mal was able to talk her into staying, or maybe that's something they had planned for later seasons and she was going to be a guest star. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the actor's personal schedule or something like that, why the character was asked to leave. But either way, last episode, thank you so much for sharing on all these episodes and watching them with me for the first time. It's been so great. I feel like the Firefly fan base has just been incredible. So thank you so much for coming along this journey with me. Like I said, I will watch the movie and that will help obviously tie in any unanswered questions. So please, no spoilers about the movie. I know I'm so close to being done, but thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you're ever curious about what gear I use or what's on the bookshelf, I've included a link in the description. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Pocketies. Just picture me.
What, naked?
Kaylee and Simon are spending more time together? Okay.
That's gonna be difficult.
So cute.
So the feds come?
There were no feds. Until I started singing.
Oh my.
I would be there right now.
What?
I mean, it was either that or...
These like weird, like, it's like breaking the fourth wall and only, what? Only River can hear
I
him?
remember talking to feds at a time.
Is she actually awake? Is this a dream?
At a time my father, I get fuzzy on the aspect.
And she's always barefoot, this one.
I got stupid. The money was too good. I don't give half a hump if you're innocent or not. So what does that with you?
Yeah, she's hearing all these things that like no one else can hear, and I'm curious if she's actually awake or if this is a dream, because nobody's really acknowledging her even being in the room.
Oh, it'll be taken into consideration.
Yeah, she always like sees things that no one else can see and hears things that no one else can hear, so... And I'm glad this episode seems to be more focused on, so far anyway, River and possibly Simon's storyline. Okay.
You urged to gut Sturgeon, and who hasn't?
This is a cool shot.
I just don't want to draw this out.
Have you decided when you're going to tell the others?
Oh, yeah, she's still leaving. Dang it.
I'm a big girl, just tell me.
None of it means a damn thing.
Yeah, something weird's going on for sure. And yeah, it looks like Inara's still leaving. Dang it. Oh! Why is there a tree branch in the middle of space? Ooh, that's a cool shot. That'd be a mess to clean up though. Ugh.
It's just an object. Doesn't mean what you think.
What? Oh my god, why does she have a gun? The tree branch turned into a gun? What? What? Okay, who is this? A new character in the last episode?
Little River just gets more colorful by the moment. What will she do next?
Either blow us all up or rub soup in her hair.
Haha!
I hope she does the soup thing. It's always a hoot, and we don't all die from it.
That's true.
Kid.
I wish his dinosaur toys made more of an appearance.
Butcher's knife?
Anyone we can't spare. I mean, as far as we know, the girl's never even picked up a gun before.
Well, actually.
You had something to say?
Yeah, they don't know that River saved Kaylee when they went to rescue Wash and Mal. She was a good shot with her eyes closed, so imagine what she can do with her eyes open. Ugh. It seems so weird that they would travel through space without being tethered to anything. It's just making me sad because it's making me think of all the things that we didn't get to see. Like, could we have done more stuff outside of the ship? Like, more stuff, like, we've only seen them in spacesuits, I think, a few times. Ugh.
You understand how that sounds?
What? She killed him with mathematics. What else could it have been?
You couldn't have done it, Jayne. Nor you, Captain.
Nobody can shoot like that that's a person.
Okay, what does that mean? Yeah.
Please don't be mad.
Whoa. Oh, that's a cool shot.
She smiled. Like nothing was wrong. Like we were playing.
Yeah, it was weird for sure.
Scared me.
Yeah.
Just know whether we like her.
So I must weren't attached to her.
Yeah, and he's on the outside listening. Oh, that's such a cool shot.
This isn't a joking matter. This is about our lives and River's.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's right. Like, she knows things she shouldn't know. She hears things she shouldn't hear. Like,
Yes, I don't think she's intuitive, Doctor. I think she's a reader.
oh.
Psychic?
Yeah.
Possible.
Oh. Okay.
She reacts to things, even the way she perceives, but I'm not.
Psychic, though?
It would make
Sounds like something out of
sense.
Science fiction.
Haha.
Spaceship, dear.
Yes.
So,
Ooh, back up a second.
That would make sense, though.
Are you saying she really reads minds?
oh, near enough.
She read the mind of that girl when they were kidnapped.
No one likes the idea of hearing what you're thinking.
The Alliance could have any number of uses for a psychic.
Yeah, absolutely. They'd use her powers for evil.
She just wants to be a kid.
Yeah, and that's why the medication's not working.
Embarrassingly large stacks of money, and I could have.
He'd still be there.
I would be.
Is it so bad here?
I don't even know if the captain knows.
Yeah, she's not talking about the captain.
Isn't there anything about this place you're glad of?
Are they gonna smooch? Oh.
Alright. You too.
Mm-hmm. Great timing.
Don't let the space bugs fight.
Oh, Kaylee, you're so cute.
Space bugs.
Yeah, and that might explain why River in the previous episode was laying on Tracy's coffin and was saying how comfortable it was if she's a psychic and a medium and can somehow talk to the dead or something like that. I'm very curious. It's definitely, now that they're saying it, the pieces are being put together, but yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that. That's so weird. And like they said, if the Alliance is going to use her skills for evil, basically, she could read enemies' minds and she could figure out what their plans are before they happen. Oh man. Ah! Oh god. Oh. Oh, no one else is gonna wake up. Oh man. Ship needs more night owls, clearly. Oh. Bye, Mal. Yeah, and how does he know the codes and stuff? Weird. Well, frick, you locked everybody in their rooms. Starting to wish she was locked in her room.
The captain is right down that hallway. He can hear you.
Captain's locked in his quarters.
Oh, no, not Kaylee.
There's nobody can help you. Say it.
Oh, I'm very nervous.
There's nobody can help me.
Why is Kaylee the one that gets held hostage? Man, come on.
So you know what I'm gonna do then?
Leave quietly.
And I can find all unseemly manner of use for it.
Oh my god, this guy's sick.
Do you understand?
I don't think you need to explain. Ah! Frick, now the shepherd's out too. This guy loves to attack from above. Oh, God.
I don't think of myself as a lion. You might as well, though. Have a mighty roar.
What?
Alliance.
Yeah, what?
No,
It's weird.
Is River, like, mind controlling him or something?
So you're a bounty hunter.
That ain't it at all.
And what are you?
I'm a bounty hunter.
Yeah, what's going on?
You refuse to help me. I shoot your brain out. And I go upstairs and spend some time violating a little mechanic I got trussed up in the room.
No. Don't like that option.
Pleasure in the thought that she will die weeping.
Oh my God, this guy sucks.
You're out of your mind.
Yes.
That's between me and my mind. Let's start with these rooms.
Yeah, it's like he's talking like how River would almost talk, so I'm curious if she's like trying to mind control him to throw him off.
Be a while before he comes to, but he'll man.
And which part of your plan dictated the necessity of beating up a shepherd?
Yes.
That ain't a shepherd.
What? What? He's not a shepherd? What? Come on, don't start open loops in the last episode, man.
Bandit on a murder run, just an
Never been
innocent.
shot.
No.
You ought to be shot.
What?
Or stabbed. Lose a leg. To be a surgeon, you know?
I don't think that's how it works.
You're dealing with. They make psychiatrists get psychoanalyzed before they can get certified.
Yeah, it doesn't require them to lose a limb.
Like a surgeon could cut on. That seemed right to you.
This guy has some very bizarre ideas, that's for sure.
Is that the companion shuttle?
Yes.
We'll try the empty first, then we'll pay her a visit.
No. Yeah, where could River have gone? Did he just lick that ladder?
I'm gonna seal you in, though. You just sit.
You can still walk away from this. I know you're tired.
Oh my God.
Don't go visiting my intentions.
What? Oh my God, he just hit Inara.
River's not on the ship.
What?
They didn't want her here, but she couldn't make herself leave. So she melted.
What?
Melted away.
What?
I'm not sure I take your meaning there.
I'm not on the ship.
Where is she?
I'm in the ship.
What?
I am the ship.
What? What?
River.
River's gone.
Then who exactly are we talking to?
You're talking to Serenity.
What?
And Early. Serenity is very unhappy.
What? I literally got goosebumps. River's like left her physical body and is somehow, her mind has now become the ship. What? Poor Kaylee.
Kaylee?
So many questions.
I can't keep track of her when she's not incorporeally possessing a spaceship. Don't look at me.
Yeah, that's so bizarre.
Folks are all insane.
Well, my sister's a ship. We had a complicated childhood.
Does any... River?
So many questions. She's the ship now. And that kind of makes sense when Wash was saying earlier there was something with like the heat sensors. Was that River possessing the ship? What? Is this all a big dream sequence? She said they're all dreaming and River is usually very accurate. Oh man, this episode is a lot. It's a lot on its own, but it's a lot, especially knowing this is the last one.
How do you know what this guy's gonna do?
I'm very close to him. He doesn't even see it.
Okay, but...
Go now!
Yeah, and she's like giving them directions on how to take this guy out through the intercom. So bizarre.
I'll be a son of a whore. You're not my girl, man. You're on my grown ship.
Whoa! Yeah, River!
You're not right, Early. You're not righteous.
Definitely not.
I'm going with you.
What?
River, what do you...
No.
Can't be trusted.
She's turning herself in?
Everyone could just go on without me and not have to worry.
No!
Live simple.
River, no!
No secrets.
Oh!
No.
I'll be fine.
Come on. No, you won't. You definitely won't.
I'll be your bounty, Jubal, Early.
No, come on. Seriously? After all this?
Finally, something goes according to you.
Yeah, forget that plan. Oh! Oh my god, he shot Simon. Right in the knee. Oh! Or in the leg. Oh my god.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's like, well, you're a surgeon. You should know what pain feels like because he's a sicko.
Early's on the move.
No, he's not. He's gonna get... Yeah, exactly. Oh, dang it. Come on, seriously? That's not what I wanted this to end. River turns herself in. They're never gonna see her again.
That's for you gone with old Early.
You think so?
Ha!
Some of us feel differently.
Yep. Bye. Space toss. Oh. See ya. Bye. Oh my gosh. Yeah, River, you have to stay. Oh, I was so nervous.
These, Doctor, you tend to be putting these into people more than the other thing.
Can I mop your brow?
Wash.
You got the bullet. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna pass out for a minute, but you're doing great.
Yeah, he's teaching Zoe how to...
He knows I play.
Good.
What's your lip?
Don't go, Inara. Don't go.
I can win this.
Oh, I'm hearing a lot of talk there, genius. Come on.
Yeah, is she gonna get like more control over her powers? Whoa, that's such a cool shot. Shoop, 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 shoop. Floating. Got a floater. So that was my first time watching Firefly episode 14. It's definitely bittersweet to know that the season is over, the series is over, there aren't any more episodes. I know there's a movie obviously, so I will watch that, but yeah, it was a very intense episode, and especially given that it was also the last episode, that just kind of heightened everything. We did learn more about River in this episode, which was good. That was obviously a big storyline. I was wondering if it would even be discussed in this episode, so I'm glad they developed that a little bit further. And it sounds like they think she's a psychic reader. It's an interesting concept for sure, and now that they've said it out loud, some of the pieces are starting to fall together, and it makes sense of why and it might explain why she's acting the way that she's acting, because she can see things that no one else can see, she can hear things that no one else can hear. She read that girl's mind when her and Simon were kidnapped and found out why that little girl wasn't talking, and she picks up this tree branch, but then in her mind it looks like a tree branch, but in reality it's actually a dangerous loaded weapon. And it might explain why also she's not responding properly to medication, because it's not something, I don't know how you would treat that with medication, and why the Alliance wants her back specifically, because it's a skill she has, and it's not, you know, like they said before, if they were just out to hurt somebody they would find somebody else to hurt, but it's just her skills specifically that they're after. And I imagine if she had turned herself in like she was planning to, they would have done some serious damage and used her powers for evil, and who knows the scope of what they would have done to her. And it was interesting to see her kind of sacrifice herself and sacrifice her own well-being for the crew, because I feel like she feels like she's a burden on the crew, because it is obviously a risk having her there, not only because she's a fugitive on the run, but because she can't really control her powers, and she doesn't really, or her skills, or whatever you want to call them, but she's kind of at the mercy of whatever happens to her that day, and however she's feeling that day kind of takes over. So when her and Kaylee were playing at the end, and she was like really focused on that ball, so maybe the plan was to further expand on her kind of learning how to control those, and to not just, you know, slice open Jayne's chest because she has a premonition, or not just lash out this because, you know, she feels a certain way. Maybe it would be to help her kind of reel in some of those feelings and skills. Maybe she would have turned into more of an asset instead of a liability for the crew on Serenity, and they could have used her mind reading skills for, you know, avoiding getting into bad deals with people, or knowing which jobs to take and what not to take. And it's so sad because it would have been such a cool feature to have in later seasons. And yeah, it's just it's bittersweet for sure. And I know Simon is also on this wanted list, but he brings the skills of being a doctor, so it would have been nice to see River feel a little bit more confident and bring the skills of mind reading, or whatever she has, whatever else she has in her arsenal. We didn't really get to see much of that. I definitely wasn't expecting that, those few minutes of where she was pretending to be the ship. I had so many questions of what that was going to be like. Yeah, just, it was a very cool twist when she was in fact just on the bounty hunter ship and was just messing with them and could see everything that was going on. But for those few minutes when you think she's somehow the ship, just my mind was just running rampant with questions of, like, where is her physical body? Is she going to be the ship for in the movie? Like, was the plan for her character just to shift into being the voice of the ship and to help the crew with whatever knowledge she has as this like voice? Like, it would just be such a big shift to go from the physical person of River, obviously, to becoming like a voice actor now, basically, where she's the voice of the ship. And I've seen that in other sci-fi movies and sci-fi shows where they have one of the characters is a voice on the ship that's, you know, commanding them and, you know, guiding them along. But yeah, that was super interesting. And the way she was like, yeah, Simon didn't even know I had this skill, and she tricks everybody into thinking that she is somehow melted into the ship and that she's taken on this new physical form. So creative, really well done. And I think it must be when Mal's talking to her, when he sees her with the gun and he's kind of treating her like a child, I think it just must be so frustrating for River, because she's very highly, like, she's highly intelligent, obviously, but just to be treated like you're a small child because you're not in control of your actions as much, or you just surprise yourself and why am I in this situation? I don't remember getting here. Like, I imagine that would be very disheartening and very tough to process, being treated this way, knowing that you probably are smarter than everybody on board, but you just can't control your abilities and end up in situations that you can't explain and could possibly hurt somebody because you didn't know what you were doing or weren't fully conscious of what you were doing. So, and the entire crew found out that River was the one, in fact, who had saved Kaylee when Wash and Mal were being held captive and tortured by Niska. So they didn't know that happened, and they were like, oh, she's got a gun, like, what could she possibly do? And then Kaylee's like, well, actually, she's a pretty good shot with her eyes closed. So I think that kind of just heightened their awareness of the danger, and like, okay, she obviously knows how to use a weapon. We need to take precautions now to, you know, safeguard themselves. And Mal wanted to lock her in her room. River obviously was scared that they were going to kick her off the ship, maybe with or without her brother. I don't know. I'm sure Simon would have gone with her, but who knows if he would have had a choice or if they would have done it. Who knows what would have happened if they had decided that River needed to leave. But like Simon said, she considers the ship her home, and it's a place where she feels safe and wants to stay. And the fact that she was willing to leave so that the crew could just have a simple life and just go about their day and not have to worry about if she was going to snap, I think that says a lot about her and a lot about how she cares about people and putting other people's needs first. And she had to know that going to the Alliance and going with this bounty hunter was not going to be a good time for her, and she was more focused on making sure the crew was safe and making sure that they didn't have to worry about her anymore. But luckily, Mal is able to boot this bounty hunter into space. He was still alive at the end of the episode. Who knows for how long, or if he'd be rescued and the plan was for him to come back into a later episode. We don't know, but it didn't sound like his chances of survival were high. So luckily River stays on board. She's back to her human self. And I think it reminded me of the episode where she's just about to be burned at the stake for a witch, and they all show up and they're like, yeah, she's crazy, but she's our kind of crazy, you know, she's staying with us, and that kind of camaraderie. And I think River had been really feeling isolated and that nobody wanted her there and that she was just causing them trouble, so she might as well leave anyway. So I think that moment with her and Mal was really nice. And obviously her and Kaylee get along, so I think Kaylee would have been devastated, especially if Inara would have left and River would have left. Kaylee, I think, would have been very much on her own and missing her friends. Not that her and Zoe aren't friends, but I think it's different, the relationship she has with Inara and with River. So yeah, and it definitely still seems like Inara's leaving. The planet she was planning on going to seemed like kind of a halfway point. Apparently is big into fishing. So Mal was kind of like, why are you even going there? And then they had those like asides, and what Mal said was like, none of this even matters. And Inara was saying like, well, I'm a big girl, just tell me. So it felt like obviously there's still some tension between Mal and Inara, and she just wants to hear, from my perspective, it sounded like she just wants to hear him say like that he cares about her and that he wants her to stay. And he's kind of just given up, and he's like, well, it doesn't matter now, like, you're leaving, what's the point of telling you how I feel, you're just gonna leave. So I don't know if the plan was for her to eventually stay or if the plan was for her to leave, and like I said, she would just come in every few episodes or they would never see her again. I have no idea. I'm hoping she's in the movie. I guess we'll find out when I watch it, but I think that would have been a big part of season 2, if there would have been a season 2, if Inara decides to leave, how everybody responds to that, and what that kind of looks like. To me, it felt like when the bounty hunter early is there talking with Simon, the things he's saying don't make sense, or it didn't feel like things that a bounty hunter would be discussing. And like he said, he's like, I'm on a time sensitive mission, and then he is like, oh, I'm a lion, I have a ferocious roar, instead of an alliance. Like River asks him if he's part of the alliance, he responds with, why would I be a lion? And just when he's holding the gun and talking about how pretty it is and the design and just the way a room can be perceived if a person is in it or not in it, it definitely felt like things that River would have said. So I'm wondering if she was mind controlling him or reading his mind for that time in a way to prevent her brother from being injured, obviously. So yeah, that was super interesting. And Kaylee luckily was able to avoid, this is I think the second or third time she's been captured and held hostage, and just stop picking on Kaylee. Like, she's like the sweetest one on board. Stop holding her hostage. Something the bounty hunter said that ties into what we learned in previous episodes, but again, I hope it's explored more in the movie, and I hope they answer it, is that the shepherd isn't a shepherd, and that might explain why the Alliance was so quick to help him out when they found out he was hurt and he just showed them the ID card. If the bounty hunter is saying he's not a shepherd and that was River channeling through him or whatever, or maybe the bounty hunter knows him from something else and knows that he's not a shepherd, then that's a whole other, storyline. And what is he? Why is he pretending to be a shepherd? So many questions about that as well. So again, I'm really hoping that's explored more in the movie. I'm curious to go back and watch the Ariel episode, because this bounty hunter said he'd been tracking them since Ariel, so I'm curious if he was in the background of something or had a very brief interaction with Simon and River, and I just obviously didn't know who he was. So I think that's interesting, and they were out in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't imagine how weird and scary it would be if suddenly this guy just sneaks onto your ship, and yeah, he knew all the codes, but again, maybe if that was River channeling through him. I'm probably not using the correct terminology for what that is. I'm definitely sad this is the last episode. I feel like we were finally starting to move some things along and see some storylines develop, and now it's just a full stop, and it's just so heartbreaking. This is the last time I'm gonna do a Firefly episode other than the movie, but a last TV episode for you guys, and it's just, honestly, thank you so much for coming on this journey. It really means the world to me, and The show is just, like they said, the fan base has been incredible. All the comments have been so great. I really appreciate all the engagement. And now that I've seen the series, please no spoilers until I watch the show, but now I feel like we can discuss things a little bit more openly. I really hope you've enjoyed these reaction videos. I know there are diehard fans of this show, so I hope I did it justice. I thought it was a great last episode. Definitely bittersweet with it being the last episode of the series, but I thought it was really well done. I thought all the characters got to play their parts, and even though the storyline focused more on River and her story, I'm glad that's the direction they chose to go. Whether or not they knew it was the last episode or not, I'm not too sure, but I'm glad that was the focus of this episode, as that's obviously a huge storyline throughout this entire season. And even like Jayne being asleep in his bunk the whole time, basically, it felt like something very true to his character and something that he would do. I'm curious to see if Kaylee and Simon will still be together in the movie. I'm curious to learn more about the shepherd and his backstory, if he's not a shepherd, what that looks like. The state of Simon and River, if River's finally learned to control some of her skills and maybe she's helping out the crew in that way and reading minds. What the state of Mal and Inara will be, if Inara will leave. Again, a lot going on. Just such a good show, and as always, thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Got a floater. Tree branch turned into a gun? She's the ship now. Yeah, is she gonna get like more control over her powers? This guy loves to attack from above. Yeah, it doesn't require them to lose a limb. What? He's not a shepherd. And she's always barefoot, this one. She just licked that ladder? Space toss. She always like sees things that no one else can see and hears things that no one else can hear.